Well, we are now joined by Tobias Wirtz from eFormulaNews. Tobias, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. We're here to talk Stoffel Vandoorne because obviously Stoffel Vandoorne won the first race, but there's a lot of confusion about it because on the state of charge, and it says on the documents, which we'll get up a little bit later when we're ready for it, that it said that the charge is between 60% and 40%, but on the graphic he was at 67% and he was eligible for his pit boost. So I'm very interested, Tobias, about what you can share upon how Stoffel Vandoorne won the race on Saturday.
Yeah, I'd say that was a tactical masterclass of Maserati MSG Racing to do it that way. Um, First of all, we you have to know that there were some special things in Tokyo that applies for London too. What is that the energy that the drivers are allowed to use is less than in other races. Usually it's 38.5 kilowatt hours. But in Tokyo and in London, the drivers just have 32 kilowatt hours that they can use. Um, but the pit boost, as you already said, is allowed when the battery is between 40 and 60% of state of charge. Yeah, you can see it in the graphics that Van Dorn had 68% in his battery of usable energy, but the sign next to his name shows that he was able to take the pit boost, and that just works because Maserati didn't charge the battery of this car completely to a 100%. Because as you see in the document on the right side, 32 kilowatt hours were available for the drivers. So what Maserati did is they charged the car, but just up to about 84, 85%. And because of this, Van Dorn was quite sooner in the window between 60 and 40% to recharge and go to the pits. And make the pit stop, and that's what gave him the victory. Um, I'm a bit surprised that no other team did the same strategy as Maserati did. Um, of course, you have to say if you decide to go this strategy before the race, there's no way back. So other people could extend their stint before the pit boost, what Van Dorn definitely was not able to because his state of charge was already lower than at the other cars. But I think it was tactical masterclass of Maserati MSG Racing to go for it.
Yeah,
And of course, he had very much luck that the red flag was brought out
just
right
after
after
his
he was at his pit stop.
yeah. So
That was
just to clarify,
sorry.
the car is charged to about 84, 85%. So
Yeah.
but the number is still 68, so he's not at 60 yet. So just to really clarify, why wasn't it at 60 then
Okay.
that he could use it?
Yeah, that's not so easy to explain. The battery has a little bit more than 40 kilowatt hours. Um, the drivers are allowed to use during the race just 38.5 usually.
Yep,
But as we all know, the cars don't stop when they reach the finish line and they
yep,
get 0%. They have enough energy to go back to the pits, for example.
yep.
So the graphics show just the allowed energy, not the
Total.
real energy that's in the battery.
Okay.
So if we say the battery has something about 40 kilowatt hours in total, Maserati MSG Racing just put 34 kilowatt hours in.
Yep.
So the 60% state of charge does not depend on the 60% energy available. It depends on the 60% energy that's the capacity of the battery. So if it has 40 kilowatt hours sorry?
If he started that race at, so let's say the graphic for him would have been 100%, right? So the eFormulaNews would have shown that he was at 100%, but technically he wasn't at 100%. So he'd used down to what, if it was at 100%, down to 68. But however, he never started with that. Therefore, the car thought he was in a place where he could basically activate pit boost. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he had 60% of the 32 kilowatt hours available that he was allowed to use. But this does not mean that there's more energy in the battery or less energy in the battery. Yeah, the state of charge that gives the window for the pit boost depends on the real energy that's physical in the battery.
Yeah, so basically the
graphic
must not be
the 100%.
Not wrong, it was right, but misleading because we didn't know that they'd underfueled him or undercharged him.
Yeah, undercharged, you can say it. But I'm really surprised that no other team did it this way. He was the only one, and in addition, he consumed quite a lot of energy in the beginning to take this pit stop quite sooner, because it was a wet race, and in the rain the drivers have to brake sooner. They have to be more careful when going on throttle. So usually in the wet you don't use all of the available energy. Just can't do it because the track doesn't allow you to use all this energy. And I heard that that Stoffel maybe could do some changes to the settings, that he didn't regen so much as you do usually, because he wanted to get in the pit window sooner and change the setting after the pit stop back again to the normal settings. So he was able to stop at the end of lap 10, when, for example, Nick Cassidy was at 80% state of charge. He was quite far away to have the possibility to go to the pits. And then, of course, luck was on his side. Max Günther had the red car. He had to stop the car on track. Yeah, I heard already some people thinking about
Stellantis.
Yes, absolutely.
Fernando Alonso, 2008, or 2008.
Yeah, Singapore 08.
Singapore 08. Oh, I did have a feeling that did cross my mind, but I was like, nah, there's no way the main team would do that for the baby team.
Exactly. Yeah. If it was that way, then it should be other way around. Yeah, then Maserati should stop on track, and the DS Penske should have been pitting. I don't think that's true, but it's an interesting strategy, and I'm 100% sure we will see other teams adapt this and do the same strategy when coming to London. Because in London we have the same thing, that there is less energy usable for the drivers, about 32% again. Kilowatt hours again.
Safety car in London is high.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have the possibility to gamble and go to the pits 3 or 4 laps sooner than anyone else, why not doing this? You have no risk when doing it that way.
100%.
Also in London, like it never rains in the UK. So
at least half the track's indoors.
No chance of something like that. No chance of something like that. Never rains here in London.
So yeah, honestly, really good insight there, Tobias. It's incredible, but I think you're right. Like, teams will, once someone does it and it works, it is, people will try again and people will think, okay, that is a strategy. If we're at the back, something to worth thinking about, especially in London when overtaking is going to be very difficult. And if you play your cards
Absolutely.
right, and the races are short at the minute, and I think that works to your advantage because obviously, Vandoorne was able to had that 25-second advantage even with the spin.
Yeah.
He's able to still win that race because he can save energy, and he's got such a big buffer that he can drive slowly, save the energy, and get to the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And usually you can't win a Formula E race when you do a spin in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big mistake, to be honest. And he's just lost 6 to 7 seconds in that lap, and still finished with more than 8 seconds in the lead.
So
And tactical masterclass, I would say.
Masterclass indeed, and they planned it, and they said that they planned it. Tobias, absolute pleasure. Hopefully, some more interesting insights after Shanghai. And we'll definitely hopefully get you back on, especially if something interesting happens.